Alright, so this is the solution that I found. This is a 3D printed mount for the light. It goes under the fender on the rear. uh, Basically have to put two-sided tape, 3M, put it under the fender. Basically it's kind of small or thin enough that it doesn't touch the tires or hit the tires when you're going through the bumps. But this is exact size. A guy on the Facebook actually does the 3D print and sells it for $30, shipped within the US continental states. So I ordered from him. If you want to remove the stock lights, it comes with the two plugs on the sides that kind of closes the hole that is for the stock turn signals. For me, I think I'll keep the turn signals, the stock versions, and this will just be an addition to that, just more visibility during the nighttime traffic, just more towards the safety, I guess. Now this actually it's been printed for this lights here. This is a Superbright LEDs. It comes in 1 meter length. It has cable coming out on both sides. I just cut it, so it's flexible enough for you to just kind of put it in here, and this is basically what it would go. You cut it in 2 pieces, and then from both ends you connect it to the stock turn lights or wiring, basically just like that. Now for me, I think it's a little too bright or too white for me, for my liking, so I'm gonna buy some Rust-Oleum lens tint and spray it, so it's not as white. I like, you know, I would like it to be all black for me. If you're okay, a little bit of white right behind your bike, you're okay, you don't have to do anything. But for me, I definitely want it to be a bit less visible when they are turned off and looking all white like that. So I'll make that change. Alright, so this is how I kind of set it up. So total 12 LEDs on both sides. I cut the LED from both ends, basically took out the middle piece. So now I have the wire basically on both sides. Now that being said, this you can only cut it in every 2, I think 1, 2, and then cut it. So this is how it is. If I cut it, it goes too short. I would have kind of removed 1 from each side, but I think this works. I can't remove 1, I have to remove 2, and that, to my liking, it's a little too short. So I think this is good. Then on top of that, we would need this here. This is the Joker Machine Intensifier. So what happens is, from the bike going into the LED turn signals, the bike has 3 lights or wires basically. Here we have only 2 on each side. So what happens is 3 light wires is basically I think it's 50% voltage going into the LED lights, and then 1 negative, and the other one is 100%. So give me 1 second here. So what it basically does is, the motorcycle, it has the ECU that controls the voltage, and it basically has 1 negative, 1 positive, but at 50% voltage. So it's little dim, and then when you hit the turn or the brakes, it gives the 100% voltage going in. So what this Joker Machine Intensifier does is, it's basically does the same thing. It has 1 positive here coming out, so this goes into the light. So you have negative from the light, negative to negative, but you add the positive here, and then the 2 positive coming from the motorcycle turn signals, you add it in here. So it's 50%, and the other one goes through the resistor in the middle here. I think they might have put some resistors here. And then what it does basically, when you have the positive coming from here, it disconnects this side, it gives the full voltage onto the other side, or you only have half of the voltage going in. So this is the positive, goes into LED's positive, and then the negative from the motorcycle will go into negative here, and the motorcycle's positives, or the 2 in the brake and turn, and the basically the backlight, or the backlight basically, that the rear light, that is on all the time is gonna be on one of those. So it does have a kind of instruction sheet, just tells you the same thing. Give me 1 second. Very straightforward, very simple, exactly the same, right? So you've got the stock wires, you've got one negative, one positive at 50%, the other one is positive at 100%. That comes on when you hit the brake or turn signals. Then you take the negative straight into negative for LED light, and then you use the purple and the blue wires basically from intensifier into these stock lights for the positives. And then here all it's doing is this kind of breaking the connection here, and then when you have the turns and brakes on, it lets the high voltage run through to make this brighten up a little bit and then gets more intense. So that's basically how it works. So here is a very quick test. So I'm using my battery. It's a lithium battery, just portable back, like a power bank, but this is big enough to jumpstart my car, so I keep that in my car. It has enough 12 volt just to get this tested. So this is how it's gonna look. You've got two wires coming in, one goes into negative, one goes into the intensifier, right? Outside here you have got two cable coming out, they're gonna go into the bike. This is turn, and this is basically gonna be your rear light, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, so this is how it works really. So right now this is positive, going positive straight in. It's half capacity. Basically the lights are on but not as bright. At the moment I take this and there is a current flows positive, you would see it lets more current go in. So now the one side is brighter, if you see here. So that's basically what the trick is with these intensifiers. Kind of reduces the voltage on one side, so that's basically what it's gonna be. You have that. All right, so looks like this will work. I'm gonna go ahead, kind of as I said, spray a little tint in there and go from there, start fixing it, and then I'll show you what the final product looks like. Okay, so this is what I got. I put some heat shrinks here just to kind of safely secure the connections here, both sides. Again, now it looks a little weird. I was experimenting with some spray tint, and then I have another heat shrink here, kind of connecting the both sides. So there is a gap here, just kind of making sure it doesn't touch. There's no connectivity in between, but putting this actually helps kind of keep these two in place. And then I'm gonna use some goop to kind of just a little bit on the edges and then the center, put that in there, and then this will basically slide it in and then go from there. All right, I haven't really wired it up, but just testing the light, see how it would look with my power bank here. But this is basically the concept. You have this light there. I'm probably gonna keep those two, and when we turn on the turn signals, this side is blinking, that one is not. So let's see, I think the wire would work. All right, back at it. So this is the blinker I will connect, but that basically is gonna be this. So this will kind of light up with the blinkers. That's the idea.